Let me guess. As a high achieving woman, you are constantly managing everything: your business, your team, your home, your relationships, your inbox, your emotions. And no matter how much you accomplish or how organized you are, your list keeps growing and your results are not justifying your efforts. You want to do this work, you want to grow this business, you want to lead this team, but your current mental and practical operating system isn't sustainable. The reality of the situation is, if you don't set intentional boundaries, and I'm not just talking about protecting your calendar, I'm talking about the deeper, less obvious boundaries, the world is going to keep stealing your time, your energy, and your peace. But once you figure out how to play the boundaries game properly, you take back control and your life finally starts to feel like yours again. Your life feels enjoyable. So today in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we protect your energy and prevent burnout by setting boundaries that actually stick. So I had to learn boundaries the hard way when I was building my own startup and then leading teams and growing in my career. I thought that saying yes and being hyper independent and resourceful and working harder than everyone around me made me a better leader, because leaders eat last, right? So I thought being available 24/7 meant that I was committed. I thought handling everything myself was what strong, independent, resourceful women do. But instead of success, at its worst, I ended up burnt out and in the hospital, exhausted, confused, frustrated, depleted, and completely disconnected from myself. Not to mention, it was the beginning of the end for my company when burnout got to its most critical point for me. So it wasn't until I started setting boundaries, not just with others, but with my own brain and with technology and with information, that everything began to shift in favor of my energy and my endurance. So boundaries allowed me to think clearly again. Boundaries allowed me to make decisions better, faster. I started leading from a place of clarity, not chaos. I built a version of success and a version of my life that didn't cost me my health, my joy, or my sanity. So here's what we're going to cover in this video. What are boundaries and why do they matter, especially for women? Sneaky ways that our brains talk us out of our boundaries, my top 5 boundaries for the brains of high achieving women, and your action step for this video. So what are boundaries and why do they matter, especially for women? So whether it's your time, your energy, your attention, your emotions, your bandwidth is a precious resource. And if you're a high achieving woman, partner, and current or future mother, that bandwidth is probably being pulled in a dozen different directions at all hours of the day. So boundaries are simply limits that protect what matters most to you. So think of a boundary as saying, this is okay for me and this is not. This is what I need to thrive. This is aligned with the life that I actually want to be living. So why do boundaries matter? When you don't have clear boundaries, your mental and physical energy gets drained constantly. You find yourself living someone else's life, someone else's priorities. We live in a world that's constantly fighting for your attention in every direction. Everyone has priorities. People love to impose their feelings of urgency on you. So without boundaries, you're giving your power away to the priorities and the opinions of others. Without boundaries, you're constantly reacting instead of creating or leading or making very clear decisions. You say yes too often out of guilt, which has an opportunity cost. You hold the emotional weight of everyone else's needs, and then you wonder why you're exhausted or snappy by the end of the day. And honestly, most ambitious women have a leaky boundaries problem. So if it's not clear already, the most essential boundaries are mental boundaries. I mean, everything starts in your mind. Every habit starts in your mind. So these are thought and attention boundaries. These are patterns. These are habits. So you can learn to master your mind and preserve your peace and energy, but it takes a little bit of intentional practice. So here are some sneaky ways that our brains talk us out of our boundaries. Our brains are trying to protect us, right? But sometimes your brain is going to try to keep you safe by keeping you stuck in old patterns. So here are 3 sneaky thoughts that sabotage your boundaries. It's just easier to do it myself. Short term, maybe. Long term, you're teaching everyone to depend on you. You are the solution. They'll be disappointed or upset. That's another one. Yes, in certain situations, you set a boundary, someone else might be disappointed or upset, and that is okay. You can let people have their feelings without rescuing them. That is emotional maturity for them and for you. I don't want to seem selfish. Okay, boundaries are how you preserve your capacity for generosity. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you weren't meant to. So this is an interesting example. Think about it this way. If you've had a really challenging day, there's some deadlines coming up, there's a lot on the go, and then a family member ends up in the hospital, for example, you are going to know pretty quickly if you are the one that should stretch your bandwidth to go be with them. If it's your kids, obviously. If it's one of your parents and you're the child that lives the closest, gather the information you need to determine the level of urgency. Be kind and support others when you are able to, and also prove to yourself that you know how to look after you too. Self-trust fuels calm confidence. All right, okay, so here are 5 high-impact boundaries that are going to allow you to preserve and protect your peace and your power. Number 1, protected transitions. So create a boundary around transitions in your day. 2 minutes of deep breaths before opening your laptop, a 2-minute pause in the car before walking into daycare pickup or going into the grocery store. Set some mini rituals that help you reset your nervous system and just give you a minute to pause so you're not bringing the stress of one part of your day into the next. Number 2, mental clutter cutoff. Your brain needs boundaries. No work emails after a certain hour. No doom scrolling while trying to fall asleep. Delete social apps from your phone, maybe just on the weekends. Then setting some daily offload time to get stuff out of your mind, out of your head and onto paper. This is like an energetic detox for your mind. All right. 3, default pause before saying yes. Busy women often say yes before they've even processed what the ask is. So make your new default response, let me check and get back to you. That one sentence creates space to make a decision that protects your bandwidth, not just your reputation. Number 4, reclaiming pockets of time. The boundary here is no more giving away spare minutes to scrolling. I don't know how many times you need to hear this. Use every pocket of time more mindfully to energize. Every spare moment in your day should nourish your mind and body. Listen to music, text a friend, step outside and breathe, whatever it is. Those small boundaries around micro moments have a huge impact on your mood and your energy, which has a ripple effect on the rest of your day, the rest of your life. Number 5, energetic distance from draining conversations. This one a lot of people have trouble with. You don't owe everyone full access to your energy or to your life, okay? So set limits with people who leave you feeling depleted, whether it's limiting contact, changing the topic when they're around, or deciding not to engage in emotional caretaking. Loving someone doesn't require absorbing their chaos. Boundaries for your brain look a lot like discipline. So if you truly want to have it all, if you want to have peace, health, and sustainable success, remove your attachment from your unhelpful stress coping strategies and habits. Your life is a reflection of your discipline and your boundaries. So you have 2 potential action steps for this video. Delete one draining app from your phone, maybe during the week or just on the weekend. I often remove Instagram from my phone on the weekends, and that is such a palate cleanser. And number 2, begin to replace scrolling, if you still ever scroll, with something energizing. So music, movement, whatever it is. So if you are a woman leader who is done with running on fumes and you're ready to build real sustainable success in your life, you want better results by doing less, make sure you subscribe to my email newsletter or book a free success chat when you're ready to get serious about your boundaries and upgrade your life, to begin to get better results by doing less. And let me know in the comments which of the boundaries you really needed to set first. So remember, you weren't meant to live in survival mode. You are here to lead, to thrive, to live your way. But first, you have to protect the version of you that's doing all the work. So your boundaries are not selfish. They are your strategy to living your most authentic life. And you deserve to lead a life that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside, right? I will see you in the next video.